You know what's crazy? Almost 1 in every 30 people on earth is Indonesian. Think about that for a second. Indonesia isn't just Bali beaches, scooters, and nasi goreng anymore. It's now one of the biggest populations on the planet, nearly 288 million people. And here's the interesting thing. Population numbers don't just tell us how many people exist. They tell us how people live, how cities change, how economies grow, and how the future might look like. So today, we are diving into the story behind Indonesia's population, while naturally learning English vocabulary through context. One of the biggest findings is this: Indonesia is still a young country. Median age is only around 30 years old. Now, median age is a useful English vocabulary. It means the middle age in a population. Half of the people are younger, half of the people are older. And honestly, you can feel this youth energy everywhere you go. Walk into a cafe in Jakarta, open TikTok in Indonesia, visit a university campus. Young people are everywhere, starting businesses, making content, studying online, building brands, dreaming bigger. Indonesia feels alive, and countries with young populations often grow quickly because they have a large workforce. A workforce means all people available to work. So Indonesia doesn't just have millions of people. It has millions of future workers, creators, entrepreneurs, and consumers. That's a powerful thing. But here's where things get really interesting. Indonesia is becoming more urban. Urban means connected to cities. Now, more than half of Indonesians live in urban areas. And that changes everything. People move to cities looking for better jobs, better education, better healthcare, and more opportunities. But when millions of people move into cities, cities start feeling the pressure. More traffic, more expensive housing, more crowded public transport. Crowded simply means too full of people. If you have ever been stuck in Jakarta traffic for more than 2 hours, you already understand this vocabulary emotionally. There's actually a great English phrase for this situation: growing pains. Growing pains are problems that happen while something develops quickly. Indonesia's cities are definitely experiencing growing pains. The economy grows, but so do the challenges. Now, here is the surprising part. Indonesia's population is still growing, but it's growing more slowly than before. Years ago, families often had many children. Today, not as much. The fertility rate has dropped. Fertility rate means the average number of children women have. This trend is happening in many countries around the world. Why? Because modern life is expensive. Housing is expensive. Education is expensive. Even basic living costs are rising. So many couples delay having children. Delay means to postpone something until later. Instead of having 4 or 5 children, many families now choose 1 or 2. This creates an important future question. What happens when today's young population becomes old? Because countries like Japan and South Korea are already facing aging population problems. Indonesia may eventually face the same challenges too. Now, let's zoom out globally. Indonesia represents around 3.5% of the world's population. That's massive, yet strangely, many people around the world still underestimate Indonesia. But that's beginning to change, because when a country has a huge population, a huge workforce, and a huge consumer market, the world starts to pay attention. A consumer market means people who buy products and services. And companies love large consumer markets. That's why global businesses are investing more and more in Indonesia. Indonesia's digital economy is growing fast. Its middle class is growing. Its influence is growing too. Influence means the power to affect people or situations. Indonesia's influence is becoming hard to ignore. But here is something important. Population statistics can feel cold sometimes. Just numbers on a screen: 287 million, 3.4%, 60% urban. But behind every number is a real human being. A student studying English late at night, a Grab driver working 12 hours, a mother selling food at a small warung, a teacher in Bali, a fisherman in Sulawesi. Population data is really a story about people trying to build better lives. And honestly, that's what makes Indonesia fascinating. It's young, it's changing, it's expanding, and its story is still being written. So next time you hear the word population, don't just think about numbers. Think about movement. Think about cities. Think about opportunities. Think about the people. If you learned even a few English words today, then this conversation became more than just data. It became real English through real life situation. Thanks for joining the English Table Talks, and I will see you in the next conversation.